What was your biggest teenage mistake? Not getting the hint that my friend, the beautiful Patricia, wanted to be way more than friends. Not being more sociable. I'm 25 now and I have no fucking idea how to make friends. Being afraid of girls. Didn't realize that they were normal humans too. Who just wanted to have fun and be liked. They were mysterious and scary. And I lost a lot of years being self-conscious and shy. Shared bank account with girl at 19. I like horses. In 8th grade one had a t-shirt that said, I heart horses. This was in the early days of the internet. Guess how many times I got asked if I fucked horses? I was a rather negative person as a teenager, but tried to play it off as sarcasm instead. I somehow had grown into this weird bubble where I made fun of almost every little thing. But didn't really realize that I was also hurting my friends by doing that. I did lots of growing up after high school. And I'm a bit sad about not keeping in touch with my old friends. They might have liked me more today than they did back then. Getting addicted to pills. Specifically oxycodone, which led to a 10-year heroin addiction that I'm just now 7 months clean from. Started smoking. My boyfriend talked me into trying a threesome, and then he left me for this very girl. Looking back at the way I treated this one girl, I was cruel and thoughtless. I'm 50 now and it still hurts me. Marrying my 18-year-old self to a 40-year-old who'd been grooming me for 3 years. Just to spite my mother. 0/10. Would not recommend. When I had the opportunity, I did not go to study, but decided to go to work right away. I did not rebel. My parents incessantly accused me of rebelling and general debauchery despite being in a huge club. Sport on scholarship. Being involved in school councils. Having extracurriculars like orchestra. And art. Which I always won awards for. Having a 3.6 GPA. Being the first in my family on track to go to a huge university. Etc. 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 I spent my high school life hopping in between crying, self-loathing, and suicidal ideation when I could have been having fun and enjoying my childhood. I spent too much time wondering why my parents didn't love me instead of doing something about it. And refusing to respect them. I'm actually more worried about the mistakes I didn't make. Making mistakes means you're experiencing life. I was way too far in my shell to have fun. I robbed a gas station. Fuel pump. Well, instead of applying myself I did acid and benzodiazepines assuming I'd just become Hunter S. Thompson. It did not work out. Back when I was just a young hoodlum I was out for a very late evening drive. Nice cool air and my car was making good power. Which for a turbo 5.0 Mustang is quite a bit of power. I was cruising at 100 miles per hour plus with occasional jaunts to much higher speed. Came up to a town and saw a police roadblock. About the same time I saw lights about a mile behind me. I was pretty sure they couldn't have ided me by that point so I took off. Did a little fancy driving and gave them the slip. For a while. Long story short, it came down to wrecking my car or giving up and I decided to give up. Felony fleeing the police in a motor vehicle. Reckless endangerment and a couple other charges is what I ended up with. I was 19 at the time. Now I'm 33. I'm an engineer. Married to a wonderful man who unfortunately I am not able to have children with. We looked into adoption, but with one of us being a former felon it's a bit of a non-starter. Spending a large inheritance I got when I was 18 in 2009. Could have owned a property outright by now. Not losing kilos from the beginning. I know it maybe sound stupid but being an overweight teenager made me become an outcast everywhere. Kids and adults can be cruel, and even self-esteem was bad. I only lost those kilos near the end. Wish I did it much sooner. I told my mom that my stepdad raped me. I was 16. Mom committed suicide a few weeks later on Mother's Day weekend. I wish I had never told her. I took my uncle's beautiful restored classic car for a drive when I didn't have a license and got it impounded, forcing myself to fall in love with a girl. I didn't love her. I was in love with the idea of a girlfriend. Now, to be fair, she made the same mistake. She didn't love me. It was a bad relationship. Getting old. Sold $200 worth of Bitcoins to a friend for tickets to a music festival back in 2011. I am in my teenage years RN, and I realized I can learn from your mistakes, thanks Redditors. Not taking better care of my teeth. Not pursuing my passion when I have the age, health and time with me. Trying to be someone who I wasn't. Not seeing women the same as men. Turns out, we're all people. Her name was Kirsten. Coasting through school on being bright and never learning to study. University was a shock and just about managed my 2-2. Started having sex too young, which lead to mistakes and pregnancies too young. And losing a baby as a child was too much. I'm still not sure I've recovered.